What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Best Bet Show. It is Sunday for the NFL Divisional Round. We have better games today than yesterday, I will say. Even though both games yesterday were good games, the spreads in these games are much closer. I know we're doing this much later. I know some of you guys are probably with your friends already about to watch this game, but we're going to talk about both games really quick for you guys. A nice short episode, but very informative. What's up, boys? Let's fucking go. Don't know if I can curse on the show, but someone said you're goated.
Appreciate that.
We're live. We got some good football. One of the last football weekends of the year. Austin, how you feeling today, brother?
Feeling real nice. Excited to be back here. 3-0 yesterday on NFL for me, so that felt good to see one go through the net. Hoping to build off that today. Vibes seem high. We got two good games. I'm excited for it. I know you are as well. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yesterday, I got punched in the mouth. Just stuff did not go my way whatsoever, but we've been there before, and people say I might be the bounce back king. That's what they're saying. And you can't have a bounce back if you don't mess up the day before. So,
well, I'm glad we got some correlated props because
I'm just saying, yeah, it's a good day to be a Matty Chuck's prop. I'm just going to say. But let's talk about those props. We're on the same one. We're both on Amon-Ra St. Brown. His receiving yards, probably a pretty public play as he always is, but I never do star wide receiver props. So I like to think when I do it, I like that it's a very good spot myself. In a dome at home, obviously he's gone over 90 plus in 7 of 8 home games this year, 100 plus in 6 of those games. Bucks allow the 4th most receiving yards to wide receivers. He's been targeted like crazy these playoffs. Goff loves him. And one thing I saw, the Bucks have allowed a wide receiver to hit 90 plus receiving yards in 12 of 17 games this year. But if you go non-divisional, which isn't even like the point of the non-divisional, it's because the Panthers don't really have a wide receiver who can do this. The Saints have Olave, but Derek Carr and Taysom Hill combo has not really been working at all. And the other one would be the Falcons, and Drake London might have had 2 or 3 100-yard games this year. So I don't really even count those. Take those bad quarterbacks teams out. They've allowed one wide receiver to hit 90 plus in 10 of 11 games. And the one miss was the Titans.
Insane. Yeah, absolutely insane. Well, not to mention he had 125 yards against them already this season. 7 of 8, like you said. It's kind of a spot where you back the good players in the postseason. I've said this all season long, especially like I get trying to be sharp and pinpoint and find those cool 13.5 receiving yard props and find all those cute plays. But these guys get paid the big bucks. They own their cap because of this time. And so for me, it's like, I'm not going to get cute and play Khalif Raymond and shit like that. Like, go play the guys that get paid the big dollars to make plays, overs or unders. So I like St. Brown a ton today. I'm riding with the hot hand. I've played the Sun God, I think, the last 4 weeks, and I'm going to keep doing it. It's my play of the day today. I'm on 93.5 rush plus receiving yards, though.
I love that.
I love that pivot, and I think it's an underrated pivot because we know he can do a little reverse, or we know there's gadget plays and stuff, and all he needs is 4 yards, and he's went over 4 yards in 8 of the games this year. So if we get a rush for 14 yards, we steal immense value. So I liked that pivot. I think it's likely, even if he doesn't get a rush, what are the chances he doesn't get 3 extra yards? You know,
I agree. It's not like his receiving yard line's like 23.5, and those 3 yards are so important. And you're right. Like the last 2 meaningful games they played, I will say, against the Rams, obviously in the playoffs, and then against the Cowboys, he had a run in that Cowboys game. And if he gets a run for anything north of 3-4 yards, you steal a ton of value. So I love that look as well. I think he has 100 plus receiving, so I don't think it would matter, but always good to have multiple outs when you look at these props.
And we got the lucky mug.
There you go.
We're feeling good, man. We got green, bro. This is going to be a green day. I can just feel it. The vibes feel so good.
I have 4 plays in this Bucks-Lions game. I think it's a shootout. I like the over. I like everything. I literally love so much in this game. Let's talk about both of our plays. Your second play in this game is kind of a one that I have. You're on Baker Mayfield passing yards. I did a Baker Goff SGP to bring both down. It was Baker 225 plus and then a Goff 229.5 plus, so 230 plus. It was the lowest I can get him on MGM, but it was minus 120. And if Goff doesn't give you 230, I don't know what's going to happen. His line's like 280. He's gotten 230 every single home game. So for me to have that with the Baker 225. I still like Baker's regular line, but I saw the good odds there. Those odds are definitely cooked right now. But talk about why you love Baker Mayfield's passing yards.
Yeah, I mean, I got two things off that. I'll get into the Baker second, but Trey Palmer, I see a comment. Trey Palmer woke up pissed.
He did, yeah.
He tweeted that out. So I've seen. I was talking with A1 Fantasy on Twitter. He's done that since college, 7 games, and he's caught a touchdown in all 7 games. Like, it's fact checked. I saw a tweet. Every time he's woke up pissed and actually tweeted it out, like he's went and got one. So interesting nugget. I don't think he gets in the end zone 2 times in a row. So I'm not saying to bet that, but I just think that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Then getting back to Baker Mayfield, how do you not like it? Nick Mullins just went for 396 yards plus twice against him. Dak Prescott went for 350. Matt Stafford 370. Like, we're seeing quarterbacks of recent have to throw because they're playing from behind. I think this is going to be a ton of passing, air-rated game. I love what I've seen from Baker Mayfield, especially last week. And I think they're going to struggle to run the ball a ton. I know Rachaad White's unders are very popular today, rightfully so, for like rushing and rush attempts. So, I mean, that goes hand in hand with this one. If they're playing from behind, I think Baker has to air it out. And the biggest weakness for Detroit has been their secondary. I know they get Chauncey Gardner back. He's a ball hawk, so you got to be careful there, but he will give up a play or two in coverage. So I think it's a good line, especially if the Lions aren't running the ball. If Goff's having to chuck it for 280 yards, it's pretty likely hand in hand both guys are going to have to.
I agree. I think this game is just absolute shootout. I think both teams abandoned the run early. They're 2 good run defenses. I think the Lions will have more success than the Bucs will running the ball. But at the end of the day, these are 2 very good run defenses and 2 very poor pass defenses. They know their weaknesses. They know their strengths. They're going to use those efficiently and effectively in the playoffs. I have another, I guess you talked about it a little bit. I like Rachaad White under 15.5 rush attempts. Love that spot. He's under in 7 of 8 losses this year. I do think the Bucs can still win this game, but if they win, I don't think they're controlling the game. I think it's like a 2-minute drill Baker competitive game and he gets it done, or they pull away late in the 4th, something like that. So I still like the under. I'm not saying the Bucs are going to lose, but game script and Vegas odds do think they're going to lose, so it definitely does help. And he's only gone over in 1 loss, and that was against the Texans, and the score was like 39-36. And there were just so many plays in that game. So I'm on that there. And I'm also on the kicker, Chase McLaughlin, for the Bucs. Over 1.5 field goals. He's done it in every single dome game this year. So every single road dome game he's done it in. He's done it in, I think, 7 of 9 road games. Like, the dude's just unbelievable. 12 of 17 on the year. He's got a boot. He can get a 55-yarder. Kickers are people too, so I'm all over that. That being said, let's get into the second game. This is the game that everyone wants to talk about. Bills, Chiefs, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. The two top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Some say 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. This is a showdown for the ages. What are your thoughts in this game? We'll do a sides and totals first before we're getting to props. Do you think the Bills finally take one from the Chiefs, or do you think the Chiefs continue to run?
I can't until I see it. I can't back anyone but KC. It's KC in the playoffs. The NFL wants them to advance. They do it every year. They find a way to throw that classy penalty that gets them to the next round every single year. So I'm gonna lean KC money line at plus 125. I think they win this game. The Bills, I will say, I like how they're able to put long drives together and go 8 minutes off the clock. I'm hoping we don't see too many of those for prop purposes, but they are really good at putting long drives together. So I think that's one thing that works in their benefit. But until I see KC drop in the playoffs, I'm going to back them, especially in this spot.
I agree. I think the Bills get it done. I don't think I'm going to bet it. I do think the Bills on paper, take all that aside, I do think they're the better team. I think it's so hard to keep beating a team over and over again without them stealing one. But it's tough. I mean, every time you get plus money on Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, it's like, how do you not bet that? Like, win or lose, you can live with that loss.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're getting plus money. Like, it's plus money. You know what I mean? And you have a better chance than plus money to hit this bet.
I agree. Everyone's saying Allen interception. As much as Josh Allen is going to gift you one, they've been running a lot more since the play calling change. And honestly, the Chiefs defense, they're so good this year, but they don't get a lot of interceptions. They're tied for the second fewest interceptions on the year with only 8. So for me, I'm probably staying away just because there's going to be less pass attempts from him in general. Just because they run the ball a little more, unless they, if they're losing late, then you may get one. But it is Josh Allen, so that could be the outlier that you're looking for. But I don't have any official plays in this game right now. I'm still looking at it. I am leaning a guy that you are already on as well. But why don't you get into one of your plays in this game?
Yeah, I got 2 spots I like. I try to do 2 in each one. And I'm on Josh Allen actually over 224.5 passing yards. I know, like you said, they do run the ball, but like, when do we see Josh Allen at 225 yards? Never. And everyone's saying the weather, it's supposed to be cold. These are playoff games. Like, the weather has been a factor in every single game, and props have still hit. It's baked into the book odds. So I'm not too concerned about that. But over in the last 3 regular seasons games against them and the last 2 playoff games against KC, this game, they're always exciting. There's always big plays. And I just think for 225 yards, if this team's trailing to Patrick Mahomes at all, he's going to have to chuck the ball. And we've seen them go away from the run a little bit when they are trailing. So I'm kind of going into that narrative. But I also think even if they're winning the game, like, what's the chance he could hit a big 70-yard play here?
Absolutely.
One of those big chunk plays, So for 224.5 yards, I just think Allen's way too good of a player to be at that line. I know KC's got a good defense, but you still got to move the ball or else this team's going to get skunked, So I like this one. I think it's a good line, and I think he should be in the 240s personally.
I agree. I like his yards more than his attempts. I think he's obviously can sling that damn rock. So I'm all over that passing yards. And this game, I do think goes under. I think this game is going to be disappointing in that aspect of scoring wise, but I do think it'll be close, which is, at the end of the day, whether it's 24-21 or, 36-33, a close game is a close game.
Right.
I am cautious this game because I kind of want to watch this game as a fan, and I try not to bet on it, but I am leaning this guy, and we can talk about this for a second. Travis Kelce, his yards, you're talking about low yards and low numbers, and Mahomes' favorite target in the playoffs. We're talking over his yards number in every game this season and the last season in the playoffs. I think even the year before that, he's been over his yards as well. Just the only guy you can really trust. He's not going to be chucking those deep balls in this important game to Valdez-Scantling. He may give them a chance or two, but late in the games, it's going to be Kelce. I know it's going to be, and as Rashee Rice is becoming more of his own, I think the defense has to play a little more honest, because if he wasn't becoming, blossoming into this player, it'd be a lot easier to lock Travis Kelce down. But you could argue Rashee Rice has been their best pass catcher on the team this entire year, and it has not been Kelce. So it's been, you're gonna have to pick your poison. And I think their chemistry is always there. They're gonna find a way to get to him. But I know you made this an official play, so talk about this for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, it goes back with the sun god play. Like, you're backing the best players in the playoff games that are getting paid 70 on 80 of millions of dollars a year to do their job, and we get this line at 61.5 yards. Obviously, the books know he's been struggling, but I mean, he's hitting 11 straight postseason games. Like, are you going to bet the under confidently in 11 straight postseason games? I'm not. He's hitting the last 3 versus the Bills. He hit in the last 2 playoff games versus the Bills, going over 96 plus yards in both those games. So he's went 100 yards twice. Like, 10 targets in all 3 of those games, those last games. Like, the targets are there, the receptions are there. Like, what's there not to like? They're missing their middle linebacker. Matt Milano's out. Like, they're banged up there. I think this is the weakness of a spot. It's 61.5 yards. You need one big play, likely. If the game stays close, Kelce's getting his touches. They're not going to lose on the final drive, throwing it up to Justin Watson and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And all those dipshits. They're going to get the ball to Kelce or Rashee Rice. That's who got him there. Mahomes wants to win this game, obviously. I think they both know Kelce's got to be a big factor.
I completely agree. I'm so excited to watch this game. I think whoever plays the Ravens next is my Super Bowl, honestly.
I agree. Yeah.
Regardless. The Niners, the way they played, everyone's probably going to be on the Lions if the Lions beat the Bucs. I think the Niners fix stuff, especially if Debo's back. I think Debo's very heavy game script, but I do think the Ravens and or Chiefs Bills are probably the 2 best playoff ready teams that I want to watch in a game. So I'm excited for that matchup. I don't really even care who wins here. I'm just excited. But we talked about our plays. We have first touchdown scorers to go through. So we'll say you could pick your favorite one for either game.
Are we sticking to plus 1,000s or what are we?
We'll do like plus 700. Like that's fair.
I kind of like Chris Godwin plus 1,800 in this Bucs game. I know he's only has 3 touchdowns on the year, but he's like one of the only guys with the amount of receptions he's had to have only 3 touchdowns. He's been super unlucky with it. Good slot. I think it's unlikely that we see Moore and Palmer and all those guys go crazy like we did against the Eagles. You know what I mean? I feel like it's more going to be Godwin and Evans this time. So give me that at plus 1,800. Why not?
That's nice. I know what you think. I know I'm going to pick already. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm going to go Sam Laporta.
I'm going Sam Laporta plus 900 on FanDuel.
Ridiculous.
I think I just think it's his day. The Bucs give up so many touchdowns to tight ends. They give 7 on the year, which is the 4th most. All eyes are going to be on St. Brown. Laporta's a big target. They get close. He's going to just right to the chest, and that's what it's going to be. So I'm on Sam Laporta. Hey, what can you do?
What do you do? I mean, plus 900.
But the games start in 18 minutes. That's the Best Bet Show. We'll see you guys next week. Best of luck on your bets today. Enjoy time with your friends and family. Peace out. Let's watch some football.